So I came back in here this morning just to finish prepping for paint. I got some drywall issues. I shut that valve off up there to kill the water for the water heater and left the main open, and that thing filled itself back up. I got water on the floor. I was like, why is there water still on the floor? It was just running out of the water heater. So I stuck my finger. Yeah, it filled itself back up. Thank God that I'm on a slab here, and it doesn't affect another apartment at all, man. Because there's no, it probably took all night to fill itself back up, just a drip. But we'll redrain that bad boy. Good time, man. So this unit's not too bad. She had a big TV mounted here on the wall. First coat, 20-minute mud. It's not too hateful. Spots right there. A couple spots in here. Not too bad. Little spots. I always like to go around and fill it, get all the drywall work done before the painter comes. Most of the time. I got another one I got to do the same thing to, but I think the painter might be here before I get it done, so we'll see. So, being the job I have to go around and do water checks and inspections. I got to do a roach inspection today, and I got to do water check inspections. So a lot of my time is filled in with that kind of stuff. Property inspections, got to do a daily walk around, make sure nothing's blown off, blah, blah, blah. Delegate what the guys are going to be doing. Of course, I'm the only guys. We're having a real hard time finding maintenance guys here in the Dayton area, Dayton, Ohio. Can't find anybody. Nobody wants to work. I mean, the jobs are offering, I think it's listed at like 23 an hour. But if you got HVAC and you got a little bit of skill behind you, man, you can make like 26, 27 bucks an hour doing this here in Dayton. I'm watching all the other job openings, and what they're paying and, stuff like that. So it's kind of a mid-grade, about 25 bucks an hour kind of job. But this is easy stuff. You just fix stuff all day. That's it. There's nothing. The cool thing about working with me is I don't expect the maintenance guys to do the heavy lifting, such as water heater replacements, entry door replacement, interior door replacements, stuff like that. It's all I need maintenance guys to do is just the basics. My dishwasher's not working. Just the basics. That's all I'm asking for, and I can't find it. We have interviewed 5 people, offered the job to 5 people. 4 of them accepted the job, but never showed up. So, like I said, springtime is the best time to look for another job, but springtime is also fishing time. What I mean by that is guys will go out and they'll actually interview for a job. They'll get the job, and they get that, acceptance letter, how much they're gonna be making. And they take that crap back to their boss and tell them, look, man, I'm out of here if you don't pay me more than this. It's just a trade. That's how we work, because management or property managers, they don't want to pay anything. They want to pay you bare bone 3% raise every year kind of crap, So in order for us to make decent money, you got to job hop. You got to go from one company to the next company in order to increase your pay. That's the only way to do it. But the problem is that you leave a property high and dry. Like this place here, the guy that was here when I first became the supervisor for the couple properties I'm overseeing, he completely didn't know what he was doing. And he had a very negative attitude. He verbalized it too, nonstop, negative Nancy or negative Andy, whatever. But so after 3 days of working with me, he walked off the job. And I never said a word to him. He just saw me working. Like for instance, the first day I came down here, there was a skid of brand new salt sitting outside. No telling how long it'd been sitting out there, but nobody wanted to put it away. I think it probably sat there all freaking winter. So my first day, I hand stacked that salt in the garage. It was sitting right in front of the garage. So he saw that and he was like, "Oh man, this guy's gonna make me work." I know that's what he was thinking because I could see it in his face. And then we were talking about some other stuff. Well, we got to fix that, you know. And so yeah, he knew I was going to pop him for working, but he ended up putting a toilet on. He broke a toilet tank because he didn't know that it was reverse threads, and he trying to get it off and snapped the toilet tank. Then he put the wrong size toilet tank on there. The bolts didn't even go through the holes; they were on the outside of the hole, and he put washers there to pinch the toilet. I'm like, I got the emergency call on it. Anyways, I'm just gabbing about, you know, maintenance guys in general. It's hard to find a good maintenance guy, man. You know, but everybody wants to run their freaking mouth about how they can do this and they can do that, but you put them to the fire, man. 90% of them don't even know what they're freaking doing. You know, I work with anybody, and I'd love to teach people how to fix stuff and show them an easier way of doing stuff, like the water heater trick there with the hose. I've asked on every one of the interviews that I've been through, I've asked every one of them the same question. You have a water heater that the drain doesn't work. How do you get that apartment out of the apartment? Because I don't want to lead into the answer. And there was only been 2 that have said, take the lines off and go out the top, or take the drain plug out and put another one in, or, you know, just silly stuff. I had one guy say, "Oh man, I'll just disconnect it and put it on the dolly." And I said, "You're going to take a full water heater out of an apartment? You know how heavy that is? That's 40 times, what is it, 8 pounds per gallon or something like that? Man, that's a lot of weight. You break a dolly with that, or you brag." So, anyways, good times, man. Good times. God love this kind of work, bro. I love this, man. I love this work. I love doing this stuff. But anyways, so let's quit gabbing and get to freaking work, bro. I got, what do I got today? I've got, I got inspections I got to do. I got 2 more units I got to get turned, prep for paint, and an AC that I charged. But they said it's not cooling as much as it was. It's got a leak. I know it. It didn't have any refrigerator when I went to it the first time, so. Fill and go, bro. So, I got some fantastic news. I'm gonna kind of clean the shop up here a little bit. This is my garage. I got the van sitting outside. Kind of go over a couple things real quick. Not a big deal, but just kind of run them over with you real quick. Get some of this stuff out of the way. This is trash. I bought that it's a Dremel. I bought that for all the little bits for my router. Let's see, get some of this stuff out of the way. Got a backup knife because I keep losing my knife. Screws, whatever. Anyways, this is the DP3. That's pretty cool. I used this for about a month and a half, something like that. This is the one that's got the drill holder on it. I really like this, but I was constantly fighting with the drill or my DeWalt screwdriver and my flashlight. They were constantly turning each other on. Anyways, so yeah, this is a really cool bag. If you carry a drill around with you all the time, it's perfect. I also had one of the subs send me a picture where they took the flashlight and shoved it through there. You know, you can put it on either side. I didn't like that idea. I was afraid I'd break my lens. You can also stick it in there, you know, in the side. You can do that. It's not a big deal. I just had other things in the pocket, so I'm not getting rid of it. I just switched over.
Let's see what else. I did order, what is this one? This is the SPMC bag. I wanted to give it a shot. You know, it's got the Velcro and insert pocket. I've used this for the last, I've used this for the last, I think maybe 3 weeks, something like that. The only thing I don't like about it is how everything's down in there, and I kind of lose a little bit of storage space, believe it or not. I did have a habit of putting things in there that wasn't supposed to be in there, and then I couldn't get the lid shut. It does have the big pocket in the front. I did like that a lot. It's a nice bag. I always use a strap. I don't carry it around like that. It does have the big bag or big pocket in the back. You see them online. You see people talking about them and stuff, and you really never get a feel for it until you got it in your hand. So which one is this? The DP3, which is the one with the drill pouch in there. It's basically the same freaking bag with a cover on it. Basically, it is a nice bag. I like this bag. I had my air conditioning tools in this one. This is the TP4, and I like. This is how I do it all the time. Let me get the mic over. This is how I do it all the time. When I'm going out to do a service call, it's hanging off my side. I don't like carrying stuff. I like my hands free. You know, somebody jumps out of the bush, I'm just joking, man. But this is how I like my tools, right there. If I'm working on a thermostat, I can rotate it around, blah, blah, blah. Working on a light switch, my tools are right here. I do have the little pouch with the little pockets. Yeah, I like this bag. I did have all my HVAC stuff in here, my portable Bluetooth gauges and stuff. I'm missing my cutter. I thought I had it in here in the garage somewhere because I put together a bunch of patio furniture and I used it for cutting and now I can't find it. So I have to get me another. So my hand tools, man, it's a pair of pliers. I haven't used this since I've been on this property. I have not used this and the other property. I always like to have my little, because it will get a good size. It's a DeWalt. I like it because it's small. I did get this back out of my shop or shed storage. It's a DeWalt, but you can swap out the tips. Because I lost my Klein freaking multi-tip mini screwdriver for working on HVAC or thermostats, I lost it again. And then the one I lost the tip, it fell down in a wall. So I'm like, well, they give me another one. But I've had this one here, man, forever. And I do like it. It's the mini. You can get the set, and it has a full-size screwdriver and then the mini screwdriver. I do have, I should have it in here with me, and I don't see it. You bad kid. Did I leave it over here? No, I think it's in the van. It does come with a Phillips, but most of the time your thermostats are flathead, so, and it works perfectly, and it's a pretty strong tip too, so I'll keep that one. I've got extra room in here. I'll show you. I've got extra room in here if I need to put some more stuff in there. Or I just don't like carrying a lot of stuff with me. I see a lot of guys, man, they'll have a big old bag and hammers and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, 99% of my work right here. You know? So, anyways, about the bag. I did take all of my HVAC tools and put them in my Milwaukee bag. This is, I think it's a 10-inch. It's a small one. I've had some issues here lately, the last 3 air conditioners I've looked at, where I don't know what the problem is. I hook up my gauges, my thermostats, and my pressure gauges, and the superheat just disappears. It's I don't know if it's calculating properly. You know what I'm saying? Because I can get that temperature drop across the coil spot on, and I can get the temperature coming out of register or out of the top of the plenum at 55, 56 degrees, which is spot on. But my pressures are not right, and my superheat is gone. It's weird as crap down there. I don't know what's going on, and I'm on the right settings. It just, I don't know, maybe it's the gauge or the pressures are coming wrong. So what I did was I went ahead, I already had this, I just never used it. I got the 549. It's still the same brand, the Testo, but this is a digital gauge. Turn it on. Give it a second. It's digital gauge. It lights up. It's just you got all the hoses you got to hook up. So I don't do hoses, but down there I'm gonna give this a shot this week. I don't like the fact that you got to plug the freaking. This one here's not Bluetooth, which if I stick this one out, I might get the Bluetooth. I think it's the 570 is Bluetooth, so you can get the Bluetooth, all of your other tools, and hook up to it. You just have to scroll from one window to the next to see your temperature and your delta T and all that. But I'm gonna give this one a shot tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday, and see how well it works out. I also started using I bought these little Milwaukee pack out, these little bitty containers. You buy these and they come with it's an empty case for bits, and it has the little things in there for the bits, but I just throw those away. I use this for wire nuts for the small stuff. And then my other mini Milwaukee, and I got this stuff on Amazon. I've got caps in it for the service lines, because I didn't want to put a pack out on the bottom of this. Don't fight me, boy. I'll win. I started using this too. I've had this forever. It's it's variable speed. It's got it right there on the back trigger. You can turn it up or down, whatever. But because, I got to reach way up to disconnect the vent line for the water heaters. I used it one time. I'm like, daggone, because you can just barely turn it. You know what I mean? To get a hold of a bit in an odd spot or way back, So I just gave it a shot. Plus the reverse is right there where my pinky is, So anyways, I've been using this quite a bit. I kind of like it for HVAC, reaching around behind an AC to, get it screwed loose, but it's pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, that's and then, like I said, the probes are wired probes. So like I said, I'm gonna give it a shot and see maybe if it's my cordless stuff that's messed up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that little bag, it came with some cool stuff. It came with I like this. It's pretty cool. So if you're gonna be like doing a whole bunch of, I don't know what you're doing. Maybe hanging a bunch of drywall or something. That's cool. You can put that on your side, put your drill in it. It's a drill holder, See how long that'll last. And then the little mini pouch. I think that's kind of neat. It's good for, I don't know what you'd use that for. It's pretty freaking tiny. Maybe 2 screwdrivers and a freaking cutter or something. I don't know. We'll keep it around. I'm in my PJs today. Anyways, so here's the good news. Here's the cool part. So moving to where I'm at now, this is it was and always will be a temp move. I just had to find somewhere to live, because my job that I had, you live on property, you got to get off the freaking property. So this place here is a gorgeous place. I really like this place. Big, it's massive. It's almost like 2,000 square foot apartment. 2-story, 2-bed, 3-bath, big garage, nice little quiet backyard, big living room. I really like the living room, how the kitchen's set up. It's all open. It's really freaking cool. I haven't yet to hang anything on the walls though. I've been here for almost 3 months now. Anyways, so I found me a house. I found me a nice little house. The guy just remodeled it. It's a small 2 bedrooms, all remodeled, beautiful, gorgeous house. It's over in Dayton. And then the garage, it has a deck off the back. It's all flat, not a step down deck. It's a flat ground deck. And then it's got like 3 steps to go up to the garage. It's got a 1.5 car garage, basically. I mean, my van will more than fit in there. It's got a little side driveway and then a big yard in the back, and it's all fenced in. For the dogs, it's technically a couple dollars cheaper to rent the house than it is to rent this place, even with my discount. The other thing is if I decide that I don't want to work for this company anymore, I still got to move, or they're going to jack my rent. My rent would be $1,600 a month to live here, and I'm like, no, not gonna happen. So, like I said, it was just a temp move. I got all my studio stuff is still in boxes. Half of my clothes are still in storage. I still got the storage unit up at the other city. So anyway, so I have 1 week before I get the keys for the new place, and I'm gonna take you guys with me. First day, getting the keys, do the walkthrough, show you the place. It's really gorgeous, man. Really nice place, and it's the main road one of the main roads that cuts through that area of Dayton. My son lives over on the other side, and I live on this side. So I live on the east side. He lives on the west side. Kind of comical, but I'm so tickled, man. I've already paid a deposit. The rent, everything's paid. So, yeah, I'll be moving again. This will be nice. It'll take me about a week to get everything moved over there, because it's within, if you get on the main highway and run around, it takes about 10 minutes. But if you cut across to the side roads, it only takes about 7 minutes to get there, something like that. Anyways, it's real close. So I'll be moving again. I'm so looking forward to it because I can start doing more videos. The garage is pretty cool. It's old, and they've wrapped it with siding, so you can see the siding through the wood. It's old. It's old Dayton. You know what I mean? So I'm really looking forward to doing some work in there. And the landlord's a super cool guy. I spoke to him a little bit ago, and he was talking to me about he was going to go and connect because the driveway has a fence, but the fence is gone, the gates. So he was going to run the poles to the garage, basically cap the driveway. So you have to walk all the way around the garage to get the other side. And I asked him, I said, it would be cheaper for you to just put gates back than it would be to close it off. I would prefer to be gates. That way I can get out and open the gate, put my van in there, and that way the dog's going to run around and there's no separation. You know what I mean? So he said that would work for him. It was kind of a smarter ideal, and then he's going to get a brand new refrigerator. I was going to provide one myself, but he's got that all taken care of. And he's cool with me doing some stuff, like the deck is flat and the main road's right beside the house. And I asked him if he would have a problem with me putting a privacy fence up to just on the one side. So if I'm sitting on the deck, I don't have to, the traffic's not in my way. You know what I mean? Just kind of privacy shield, but he's cool with that. But anyway, so that's my cool news. The property, the maintenance guy may or may not start on the 12th. That's another week. So I was doing the on-call for both properties. Every third week I'd be on call for 2 properties at the same time, and I'm like, you know what, this is ridiculous. So I just told one of my maintenance guys that from now on they're going to have to carry the maintenance back the way it was. So it's every other week they're on call. You know what I'm saying? There's two of them. They can rotate it, because me being on call for 2 properties at the same time is kind of not a good idea, because if something goes down there and then something happens here, that's a problem. You know what I mean? I'd have to call one of them in anyway. So it's just not a good idea. So yeah, the other property, man, it's got a lot of freaking work, man. A lot of work. You know, anybody in the Dayton area wants a job. You know what I mean? This guy here will be the 6th. That's number 6 guy that we've interviewed, offered him the job, and we'll have to wait and see if he shows up on Monday. Now, his first day, he has to go to Columbus, which is like an hour ride from here, to do his initial onboarding kind of stuff. So for some reason, it kills guys when they got to do that, and they just don't do it. And it's just funny. There was one of the guys, he didn't even pass the background. And I'm like, well, why would you offer somebody a job before you did a background? You know, they went through the whole interview process and everything before they did a background check on him. I'm like, that's silly. Anyways. So yeah, I'm gonna have to empty out the garage again, and relocate it, and hopefully we get it done before it starts getting hot, because I hate doing stuff when it's hot. So hopefully we get this done in the next couple weeks. Of course, the dogs are going to freak when I get the boxes out again. Anyway, I love them. They're good. So anyways, yeah, I'm just kind of go over these tool bags a little bit, and I'll just shoot the breeze with you for a second. Let you know everything's good. Everything's good. It's just, I've just been working a lot, and really kind of stressed out a little bit. So I get home, man, I get something to eat and I crash. I'm done. So this isn't like the old job where half the day I didn't do anything. But this is nonstop all day long. So it's a little bit different. So I'm gonna try to. I got a couple of vacants I got to work in next week, and I'm gonna try to do a little video recording next week. I did one. I wish I would have recorded it Friday. We had the aqua flows, which is water out of the water heater to heat the apartment. Anyways, a vacant apartment. I got to get it turned real quick. Tenants moving in on Friday, this coming Friday. So my first thing is always I'll hit the HVAC, make sure everything's working right, get that system going before I do anything else. Yeah, 2.5 hours later to get the system working right. The contactor on the AC, somebody had taken the set screws out of it, so the wires weren't even pinched in. They were just jammed down in there. The furnace, I had to replace everything on the furnace, the pump relay, the fan relay, and the transformer. I'll replace the the fan relay, because that divides everybody up, and then the transformer burned up because the wires were wrong on the pump. The pump wouldn't shut off no matter what you did. As soon as you turn the power on, man, pump's running. So I had to trace down every single freaking wire in a little box about like that to get everything set right. I wish I would have been able to do a video on it. I just wasn't thinking, man. I was more like, let's get this done. So on the last video, I talked about AC that bled out. It blew up. It blew all the refrigerant all over the freaking yard. It's old. They're 30 years, 40 years old. There's ACs. But so corporate, okay, 2 brand new air conditioners. And the boss ordered them, so I should get them like Tuesday, something like that. 2 brand new. And the portables, I don't want portables. You know, the little ones that look like air purifiers. I bought 2. Well, the boss bought them. 2 window air conditioners, real small ones. And what I'm going to do is spray paint the outer rim, whatever color I can find down at the shop. I've got some orange paint here. The reason why is because when you drive by and you see it, you know it belongs to the property. Because apparently they bought portables and they're gone. This is kind of comical because we were having this conversation on Thursday, Friday, corporate's like, get the freaking air conditioners. I'm like, okay. I'm coming through the property working on that AC and furnace. I saw a tenant back into his parking spot, and I saw in his window he had the grill for a portable. So I pulled up beside him and I said, hey man, is that our air conditioner? He goes, yep. And I'm like, well, that's good. I need it back. And he goes, nope, you can't have it until my air conditioner's working. So I look over in this bush, or right in front of his apartment, and he has like a 1-ton, 40-year-old air conditioner sitting beside a York, and the York is disconnected. So his air conditioner went out. They put in this little mini thing, and it's not working enough to cool his apartment. So he's holding, well, I mean, he's not really holding a hostage, but he has the right to have air conditioning. But nobody wrote down, hey, this is where the air conditioner's at. There's 2 brand new ones. No one knows where they're at. Well, I found one, but anyways, just stupid crap, man. The problem with that down there is that everybody just dissed out. The manager, she's, I think, the 4th manager in the last 2 years. It's just, you know, the maintenance don't care. They just do what they want to do. And anyways, it's just crazy, man. Crazy down there. It's not a bad property, man. The work is easy, you know, unless you're in one of the bad units, which is being rehabbed, but I'll be doing that. Anyways, I'm just rambling, man. I'm just rambling. I did want to show you this. I thought this was cool. So my cordless, I bought these instead of buying low loss fittings. I bought a couple of these because they're like 90s. What that does is you screw this on to the AC. Let me get it out. And then you screw this, well, you put the gauge on it, and then you screw that in, and it depresses the Schrader valve. So when you're done, you just unscrew this, which lets the Schrader valve back out, and then you take it off. So it's like, it's a new version of a low loss fitting. Low loss is quicker, of course, but I just thought that was cool. Anyway, teach his own. That way, my main thing with that way my gauges are coming straight off the machine, and I can kind of move them around where I want. You know what I mean? My low loss fitting, it was a 45. I was always having a hard time getting my hand in there to tighten them up. But anyways, also in my bag, I have a couple of these Pittsburgh Auto Mechanics, these little magnet pans. I have a Craftsman that collapses, but it doesn't have a very good magnet. This has got a pretty good magnet to it. I keep that in my AC bag too. That way when I'm working on AC, just set it on top, put all the screws in there, Schrader valves and all that stuff, and that way I don't lose it, because I keep losing screws. So that's about it, man. I'm just kind of rambling now. But I just want to give you an update, show you some bags, and let you know what's up. On to the next water heater. Peace. See you on the next one.
Tell them who you are. If you're living in the movement, you wanna praise God. This is how we do it.